Parting is such sweet sorrow. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game characters that didn't deserve to die.
Talk to Lily yet?
No, not yet. I will.
For this list, we'll be looking at characters that we felt were innocent enough to not warrant the cruel fate they received. The deaths themselves had to be shocking enough and the characters likable enough in order to make the cut. Oh, and since this list is basically one big spoiler, a spoiler alert is officially in effect. Number 10, Stephen Burnside, Resident Evil, Code Veronica.
Father!
Of all the people that lost their lives to the T-virus and all of its future strains, none was more saddening and needless than Stephen.
Steve, you've got to hang in there, okay? My brother's come to save us. We're getting out of here.
Targeted by the Umbrella Corporation due to his father, a former Umbrella employee who was selling their secrets, this young man found himself in a whole heap of trouble simply through guilt by association. Things seemed to go pretty well for Steve and his circumstantial partner Claire Redfield, until they were captured and Steve was injected with the T-Veronica virus, turning him into a monster with one hell of a swing. He was eventually put down by the villainous Alexia, but not before declaring his love for Claire. I guess love can bloom even in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. That's sweet, right?
Steve?
Number 9, Trish Daly, Infamous.
I buried her in the park alongside others who died since the blast. Kessler's gonna pay for this.
There were a lot of reasons for Trish to hate our electrifying protagonist. He was apparently responsible for the blast that killed several innocents, including her sister, not to mention being her ex-boyfriend in the first place.
God had given me these powers, and I'd squandered them, hurting others and thinking only of myself.
However, should players take the hero route, she eventually begins to believe in Cole's innocence as well as have a renewed faith in their relationship. But no matter which path you take, this all comes to a grinding halt when she's kidnapped by Kessler, who forces Cole to either save her or 6 doctors, but either way she dies.
No matter painful.
Trish!
If you play the hero, it seems to reap little reward, as Cole just manages to return to her in time to share their final goodbyes. As if this stuff wasn't hard enough for Cole already. Give the man a break.
For a second, she sprung to life, just long enough to say that she was proud of me for what I'd become. Proud that I was helping people with my powers, and that she loved me for it.
Number 8, Roman Bellick, Kate McCreary, Grand Theft Auto 4. Both of these are so equally shocking that we couldn't decide between the two. Plus, they go hand in hand depending on which route the players choose. Should Nico make a deal with Dmitry Rascalov, it results in him sending an assassin on the day of Roman's wedding, and in the ensuing gunfight, leaves Nico's beloved cousin killed by a ricochet bullet. If Nico cuts all ties and steps away from his criminal life, his newfound love interest Kate is gunned down by a less than pleased Jimmy Pecorino. Either choice leads to the death of one of 2 innocent characters, and it will leave you and the protagonist gearing for one hell of a revenge spree.
Yes, go on, man. Go on, man. We have to leave, man. Just leave.
Get out of here.
Don't worry, we take care of this, man.
Okay, okay.
Number 7, Kelley Chambers, Mass Effect 2.
Looks like one of the missing colonists.
While she may not have been an official love interest, Kelley was still a spunky and intelligent part of the Normandy's crew. If you flirt with her enough, she'll even give you a private dance, assuming she makes it that far. Like the rest, she's kidnapped when the Normandy is overrun by the Collectors. Should Shepard hesitate in his plan to go and save his people, players will be treated to the less than pleasant cutscene of Kelley getting liquefied until she's nothing but fuel for that human reaper. So much for that lap dance. Number 6, Leah, Diablo III.
We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done.
When your whole reason for living is to become the vessel for the manifestation of pure evil, then you're just unlucky beyond belief.
Your true father was Diablo himself.
Born from a Diablo-possessed Aiden and the witch Adria, Leah grew up in utter mystery. Mistreated from birth, she was eventually taken away by Deckard Cain, and in time joined the Nephilim on their quest to stop a new evil.
The world must be told of the coming darkness.
Of course, Leah wasn't able to escape her destiny forever, as her mother showed her her true colors by unleashing Diablo through her. The eventual defeat of Diablo also meant Leah's death. To say her whole life had been one big tragedy would be an understatement. Number 5, Klaus, Mother 3. The much more courageous twin of protagonist Lucas, Klaus serves as the starting point for all the heartbreaks this game gives out when he's found dead at the end of the game's first chapter. Not sad enough for you? Well, it turns out that the leader of the Pig Mask Army and overall douche Porky Minch brought him back to life as the Masked Man, a soulless weapon of war under his command. Still think it can't get any sadder? Well, at the game's conclusion, Klaus regains some control over himself, and to stop himself from hurting his brother, he purposefully launches an attack that he knows will be reflected, and essentially commits suicide. Hey, did we mention that this game is depressing? Number 4, The Bloody Baron, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
What the hell do you think I'm here? To take her home?
Oh, you'll do no such thing.
The world that Geralt of Rivia inhabits is one of complex and broken characters, where everyone has both sympathetic yet monstrous qualities within them. Case in point, Philip Strenger, known to most as the Bloody Baron.
She's seen me drunk and sober. She was there to greet me when I returned the victor. She was there to patch me up in defeat.
After meeting the White Wolf, he's desperate for a chance to reunite with his wife and daughter, despite the terrible things that you find out he did to drive them away. Depending on Geralt's choices, one outcome involves the Baron's wife passing away. Driven by the grief of his loss, the Bloody Baron tragically will hang himself.
The Baron would leave his wife where she lay, find a rope and hang himself. Most times, you make your choice and never look back.
Despite having a past littered with mistakes and terrible deeds, the Baron was one of the most sympathetic and well-rounded characters in the game, making his unceremonious end all the more heartbreaking.
Leave me be. Your pay will await you at Crow Perch. Collect it there.
Number 3, John Marston, Red Dead Redemption.
That ain't fair, Bill. You were as my brother. I've come to try to save you.
He endured the heat of Mexico, the grip of governmental control, and a hell of a lot of bullets. So by the time former bandit John Marston gets to settle down with his family, we felt an overwhelming sense of relief that he would finally get his happy ending. At least that's what he hoped.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble.
Betrayed by the very man who had been holding him on a bureaucratic leash, we can only watch in horror as our favorite outlaw is gunned down. To come so far to lose everything at the last second certainly makes for a gripping ending, but that didn't stop us from wishing it didn't happen.
'Neath the western sky, on the lone prairie.
Number 2, Carley, The Walking Dead.
You don't have to tell everyone, but think about who you trust and take the opportunity while you have it.
If this game taught us anything, it's that people can be real assholes during the zombie apocalypse.
You know what? We shouldn't just kick you out. We should hear what everybody thinks.
I think you should chill out.
With the ever-thinning group, the only 2 people that remained constant pillars of support for Lee was the daughter figure he found in Clementine and the sharp and quick-witted Carley. A former reporter, she becomes something of a potential romance for Lee as well as a fan favorite, which is why her sudden deaths at the hands of Lily came as such a brutal shock.
Now, what the is the problem?
Players had already made the choice to spare her life over Doug, so to see her snuffed out just like that felt so out of left field. Much like Lee, this left us reeling. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You're malfunctioning. Let me get you out of this chair. Don't! He hurt me, Kanoko, badly. If you try to move me, I will probably die.
But the world changed, and the North became a frozen waste, and Morag placed her people in a magical stasis within the Soul Stone to await the time of their awakening.
Lord Kratos! Do not leave me!
We're gathered here to honor Detective Cole Phelps.
Number 1. Aerith Gainsborough, Final Fantasy VII. Her death is as famous as it is heartbreaking. Once a simple flower seller, she eventually becomes involved with Cloud and Avalanche and becomes a crucial part of the team. Sweet in nature and big on healing, she was very much a welcome addition, especially when we found out about her identity as Cetra. Of course, everything comes undone when Sephiroth dive bombs the group and impales Aerith with his blade, skewering her before our very eyes. This all leads to a somber goodbye as Cloud returns her body to the Lifestream, where she becomes one with the planet. It's a beautiful but tragic end to a character we'd come to adore. Do you agree with our list?
Just as I thought.
What character from video games did you not want to die? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.